In 1940, Michel Aflac, lawyer, writer, and founder of the Ba'ath Resurrection Party that would dominate Syrian and Iraqi politics for much of the post-1945 era, considered the nature of violence. "When we are cruel to others," he wrote, "we know that our cruelty is meant to bring them back to their true selves, of which they are ignorant." In other words, for Aflac, political violence had a purpose: to remake the world, to clarify the true nature of a society, to purify not just movements but individuals. Violence represented a fundamental paradox, something that could hurt and heal at the same time. Similar ideas appeared in the work of other mid-century anti-colonial thinkers. Frantz Fanon, for instance, whose passionate 1963 text, The Wretched of the Earth, depicted violence as a cathartic force, here not for the victim but for the perpetrator, who could, through the practice of violence, be freed from his inferiority complex and from his despair and inaction. Such writers, whatever we make of their advocacy, understood something centrally important about 20th century violence. It was not merely an atavistic impulse, a sign of societal breakdown, a descent into chaos, but a political decision, a deliberate strategy undertaken by identifiable actors at particular times with specific purposes. This book, then, is about the why, when, and how of the political phenomenon of mass violence in the Middle East. When did mass violence become a constitutive aspect of the political landscape of the region? Why did it take precedence over other strategies of state building and establishing political authority, and take similar forms in different sovereign states across the region? How did governments, armies, and civilians alike come to think of mass violence as a viable and legitimate mode of claiming political space and national rights? In other words, how did mass violence come to be a primary, perhaps the primary, mode of making political claims in the 20th and 21st century Middle East?